So I should have really taken a video after I just pulled the air box off of this with the pre-filter I have installed. But let's go for a visual here. So the pre-filter, I'll show you here in a second, sits inside your air box right here, and it's your first line of defense. I literally had probably a 1/4 inch of just clayey shit, silt, just built up around the sealing edge around where that pre-filter sits. Inside right here, you can kind of still see down there, maybe you can't, shit tons of that like just clay silt, and mind you, I have pressure washed this already, and it's still, I mean, pressure washed it, and there's still that clay silt built up. My old air filter, I threw that away, completely clogged. But we'll go into what you exactly need if you have this generation of razor, which I believe for the 900s it's 2011 to 2014. I don't know if the 1000s or the 800s fall into this category. This is a 900, so I know that for sure. You can go ahead and just take a look online and see if the airbox dimensions, things like that, are the same. I just know for this particular model. But this Desert Craft, it's a simple design. It's got a little backing right here for rigidity. These little push pins. This son of a gun packs so much shit into it that saves it before it gets into your actual filter. And if you've owned any of these for any amount of time, you know how expensive air filters are, and you know how quick they're shitty. Where these guys grab their air from, that's the belt side, and this is the air intake side, actually, where it's grabbing its air from. It's a bad spot. So they're always, you got that vortex of dust, and they're sucking it in all the time. And that's a big reason why these motors do not last, is because they're just sucking in dusty air all the time. So what this thing does, you stick it in just like this into your air box. It does need to be pre-oiled. I just use the K&N air filter oil, just put a light spray on top of it. But it sits just in your air box, just like this. Kind of just push it in there, and it stops. You don't shove it in there, stops. You have enough room for your regular air filter to sit. So that's the #1 Desert Craft product you need to have if you own one of these generations of razors. The second one is, so if you look at your air box, you're not going to have this. This is also a Desert Craft product. It's called their Super Seal Kit. So what it is, it's got like a sticky adhesive on the other side, and you just line it up and you stick it over top your other seal. And what that does is it really solidifies the seal, so you're not getting anything coming around your air filter sucking in through the sides of it, and you're only getting it from your actual air intake duct. Third thing would be these little filter wears. They're nice. I've actually got off a very dusty trail and it just coated, and they're pretty easy. You just take them off, kind of just beat them, and you'll see just like a pile of dirt, fine dust, you know, come off of it. All they do is they just wrap around. They got 2 little slits right here. They go over your tabs, and they kind of go back behind that push tab right here, so you can still operate that push tab. They come in a pair for both sides. You need them too. I couldn't believe the amount of dirt and clay I pulled out of that. I mean, where I ride is very clay ridden. It's about everything right. You can still see I'm still, and I took a paper towel in here and just dabbed around, and I'm still picking up dirt everywhere. This is one of the best entry-level options you can do to protect your razor right out the gate. The next best step after that, if you just want to go full on out, would be a particulate separator. I would really love to get me a particulate separator, except for with these generations, and I know there's a couple styles of roofs these have, there's not really a good way for me to mount a particulate separator up where it should be above the roof. So I've opted to try to do the best thing I can with what I have bought, and just them pre-filters. And about forgot it, I just found this, and I can't attest to whether it's good or it's not good, but it's an R2C, and it's actually a reusable air filter for the razor. This is the only one I can find. You guys with these generations of razors, it doesn't matter if it's 900, 1,000, you kind of know that parts are not as plentiful as the 2015. You go 1 year up and you can get anything you want for these things. This generation, I don't know why, just they're kind of forgotten. They're in the back, they're in the past, so there's not a lot of parts for them. But the R2C, I can't attest to it, but that is the only drop-in reusable air filter I did find, because I'm sick of spending $30, $40, $50, you know, to get just the regular air filter for these, and they're junk. I don't use Polaris, the PS4 oil in here. I do use the regular Polaris for like the transmission, the front diff, stuff like that. But the regular motor oil, I use Rotella. I have a really hard time with Polaris fluids and Polaris air filters. They want you to keep coming back to the dealer. They want you to keep spending your money. So we're going to try that out, because I don't think it's going to do any worse than the regular air filter for the Polaris, or actually that Polaris gives you. So just a little update there. Man, it was astronomical. I can't even believe this thing was still running with how much I pulled out of that pre-filter right there. That thing is a game changer for your Polaris razor. You need to at least have that, and highly recommend the Super Seal kit. And when you put your air box in without that Super Seal kit, it just kind of goes in. You just put your thumb screws down, just whatever. With this Super Seal kit in, it is kind of a pain in the ass, and that's how you want it to be. You want to make sure it's got a good, fine, tight grip, and this is the only place it's grabbing its air from. Anyways, guys, so that's just my little product update, and you gotta have these things to make these generations of razors reliable. I'm going on 3,000 miles now, and she's still running strong. So hell yeah, guys, thanks. Have a good one. Hope you find the information plentiful and reliable. I will drop all links in the description of the products I'm talking about right now. So until next time, guys, thanks. Have a good one.